This is my very first little seed that sprouted. I'm growing a whole bunch upstairs under grow lights. I'm also doing a whole bunch of seeds called winter sowing. And I wanted to show you what that looks like and a little bit of the area that I've kind of taken over where I live and have been planting. This is a picture of a shed that we have to store things in. The next picture was a greenhouse, but it all blew away, not this last storm, but the storm before. I tried to save it, and all the parts and pieces were blowing all over me. And now we're going to just take it apart, and we're going to use it as a frame to grow grapes on, and then it's going to be kind of like an edible little house. I'm kind of excited about that because it's my project, and I got approval by the management here to do that instead of just tearing it down. This area is an area that I've taken over, and I've got perennials and things that grow over the rocks. That up there is a ton of blackberries. It's what I've been cutting out. This is the winter sowing, and you just put seeds out and cover them up in plastic, and you start them in like January, and then supposedly they sprout and grow. And it looks like I have one little seed. That's pretty cool. This is a greenhouse I built, and it has lasted through the wind. And the one behind it was one I bought that's manufactured in China, and it's blown away 3 times now. So I'm pretty proud of myself that I was able to put together something that doesn't blow away, at least. Everybody gets 1 box, but there was a lot of empty ones, so I have like 7. This is where we compost, and to the right of it I've taken over a garden area there, and to the left this was all blackberries and grass, that area that's green now, and I've planted tons of different perennials. As I'm walking up to that other area where my winter sowing's going on, and beyond that is the very front left box was supposedly my box, but I've taken over a few others. This year they are saying that you only get 1 box, but I don't know what I'm going to do. I also bought about $800 worth of seeds. I'm absolutely nuts. I don't have really the land or, field or anything to plant them in. This is part of the garden I started, and it's got a little concrete walkway that I just poured the concrete with some forms. This is the back of a bench that we had built. The person who was hired here to do helping us all out, he had a saw and we built it. This area here has some more of my little concrete things I made. It's hard to see. They're little flowers. And this area needs some help. I want it to be all ground cover and just look like a flower. So that's going to happen this summer. Everywhere you dig, there's rocks around here. I love rocks. It's like going clamming when you dig, because it's like digging out clams, but they're beautiful rocks. So I use them. This is another area that is waiting to just blossom this spring and summer and fall. The whole back of this complex is owned by the city of Milwaukee, but I don't really understand. It's like an unused park, and so I've kind of taken over, and I've been digging and planting. I feel like a squatter. There's the front of my little bench. There's lots of ivy around here, which a lot of people don't like, but I kind of like it. That's my messy area. My sister's old chairs that Goodwill wouldn't even take, so I'm going to put plants on them. This is the beautiful 9-story building where I live. And my savior for having to live in this kind of situation is definitely this back. I think it's about 5 acres. Those whole area of blueberries that are, it's huge. There's about 100 blueberries back there. And this is part of the garden I've been working on. There's little exercise things that you can do. Nobody uses it. Like, I'm the only one that comes out here until maybe if the sun, first day the sun comes out, then everybody comes down. Anyway, this is the area I've been planting too. That tree right there is a, I forgot. Oh, crepe myrtle. I have a hard time remembering all the plants that I planted names, but I know that there's lilacs, hydrangeas, rhododendrons, lilies, lots of different little ground covers. That's my sister's old pig pot that she didn't want when she moved. I have a hummingbird. I'm hoping to have a few more hummingbirds come this summer. There was 2 that love it around here. They've been coming all winter long. There's my bench again in the background. The snow's finally starting to melt. I've had a few days off to get bored enough to make a video, I guess. It'll be fun to see the befores and afters, because this kind of makes it look like a before. The one thing that I'm having troubles with besides digging in rocks is getting myself to buy dirt. So I'm trying to make my own by adding mulch and compost, and I'm finding that I'm finally retired, but your body really doesn't have as much energy as it used to, so I'm not sure if I'm going to have my dream or not here to do what I've always wanted to do and have a really big flower garden. That field to the right is where I'd like to have like a prairie garden where you plant just perennials that come back year after year. And lots of bees and pollinators would come use it. I'm thinking about talking to the city and seeing if they would allow me to do something like that, and maybe they would provide some of the labor, which in dirt. And what else? I've got a million seeds, so we don't need seeds. This is where we compost. And in front of it, I'm making little topiary birds. That picture's terrible. I'm starting to learn my camera all over again. It took me 3 hours to figure out how to get memory back in the card. Anyway, I think that's the end of the video.